We're on the road. Where transportation goes, community grows. Welcome to On the Road with the MTA. And welcome to another exciting edition of On the Road with the MTA. I'm Jay Gibbons alongside with Stephanie Kay from the MTA. How's Stephanie over there?
I am well, but I want to share a little tip with you that I learned.
Uh-oh, you learned a tip?
I did, the hard way. I was on the phone this morning with my co-host, Mike McDonald. I hadn't talked to him for a while. My right hand, because I'm right-handed, on the phone, talking away. So with my left hand, I put a cup of tea in my microwave, heated it up, and I went to reach for it, take it out like I have a billion times. And for some reason, this particular cup is not microwavable safe.
Whoops.
I don't know why. It was pretty, had like a little red handle. Maybe the paint had let out, but I grabbed it. I screamed bloody murder because I picked it up and carried it out to where I realized the pain was so intense. I dropped it. You can see my hands like blistering on the red. I've been holding ice all day. So I just want to warn everyone.
Wow.
I don't want you guys to have this happen to you. So please make sure you take, even says microwavable safe, take something to take it out with. Dishes or
Very smart.
Yeah, man, I've never been burned so bad. That hurt.
Yeah, usually when you touch hot things,
Well, I didn't know that. Oh, the thing I did the worst was when I had a curling iron. It was on the counter, and I was looking at my hair, so I went to pick it up. I thought it was the handle. I picked up the actual hot barrel of it, and that burned big bad.
Ouch.
Yeah, don't ever do that. Make sure you watch what you're doing.
Nothing like that burning feeling.
No, but I found some bowls that I love that are microwavable safe. They're dishwater safe, and I got the dishwasher safe, and I got them from the Food Bank of Eastern Michigan.
Yay.
Did you ever hear of the empty bowls?
Yes.
I love that. That is the best program. They have artists making these these bowls, and you could go and taste all the different soups from around the different restaurants.
Yum.
And the money goes back to the Food Bank of Eastern Michigan, and you get to keep the bowls. And I love those bowls. I have so many of those. I wish I would have used that instead of my mug.
Yes.
But we have somebody here today from the Food Bank of Eastern Michigan, and she is the development coordinator, and she is definitely a hard worker. I'm so glad you could come in person.
Absolutely.
We have Caitlin McLaughlin. Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. It's so glad to be here.
And Caitlin, you haven't burned yourself on hot stuff in the microwave, have you?
Not recently, but I'm sure I have. That hurts.
You don't realize how bad it hurts. It's like I can't imagine somebody who's been like 30-degree burns all over their body when you have one little area.
Ugh.
I had tendonitis in my right elbow, and my left hand is burned, so I felt like an invalid. Actually, it's funny how your body will work because once the left hand hurts so bad, the tendonitis didn't hurt so bad. I was having to use my right hand to get in and stuff. So it kind of compensates, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
I know.
Spread the love across your body.
There you go. And you're spreading love across the country here, across our Genesee County,
Yes.
with the food that you provide for people.
Absolutely.
I know people hear Food Bank of Eastern Michigan. You see the big trucks. You see it on TV. You hear about it. But tell us, why is it so important that we do donate to the food bank?
Absolutely. So we service 22 counties, and just last year we gave out 33.8 million pounds of food over that 22 counties, over half of which is produce, fresh meats, dairy.
Really?
We work with local farmers. We work with different produce, anybody who produces produce in the state, as long as it's locally grown. We bring that in, and if it's out of season, we'll reach out to across the country and bring in trucks.
Interesting.
Which then we can distribute across the state. We can share with different food banks in the state of Michigan, and we can share that cost. And then it's cheaper for our partner agencies to get that food.
Well, that's great. You always think I think of like canned goods or non-perishable, but I didn't realize you had meat, and really, it's really important to have fresh fruits and vegetables.
Absolutely. Yeah, we've really transitioned from that like mass quantity. We've transitioned to that quality over quantity because you think about it, if you get a box of mac and cheese, you then have to have milk and butter to make that mac and cheese.
Sure.
So if we can't get them dairy, then we can't give them a box of mac and cheese.
That makes sense.
So transitioning to that, like you can eat an apple, but you might not be able to make mac and cheese without that fresh produce.
Well, that makes good sense. Yeah. And I know it's so much healthier for you too. I mean, to have some
Absolutely.
fruits and vegetables over mac and cheese.
Absolutely.
Carbs.
Might be a little bit cheaper to get a box of mac and cheese, but you're definitely going to get a lot more out of
Broccoli.
that fresh.
Broccoli, yummy.
Yeah, I love broccoli. I do too.
Hey, good.
It's good for you too. Well, I know I'm also the president-elect for the Genesee Valley Rotary, and they go, I think it's once a month or once every couple months, they go to the Food Bank of Eastern Michigan, and they volunteer their time to sort through the things. That's where I learned a lot. I learned that if you have a canned goods, it might say best if used before April 1st of 2021. It's good for 3 years past that date. It's not bad. Yeah, it's...
As long as the can itself is not damaged, there's a lot of things that are just best buy dates are
Yeah.
different than use by dates.
Sure.
Even milk is good for 7 days after
really?
the day as long as it smells and, doesn't
Yeah.
look funny.
Well, my friend
obviously.
said what she does is she pours a little bit off the top of it, and then she shakes it really well, and she smells it. And if it all smells good, then she eats it. She drinks it. So, yeah, really. I was told, too, that those best if used by dates are very helpful to the manufacturer, so you'll buy more stuff and throw that away when sometimes it's not really needing to be thrown away. I found a bunch of boxes of Jell-O. That's just powder. I'm sure that would have been okay, but it had expiration dates from like past 3 years ago. So I did throw those away, but you probably still want to taste okay.
Absolutely. I mean, we still want our clients and our partner agencies to get the best food possible.
Oh, sure.
But we can get a lot more quantity by allowing that little bit of wiggle room on those best by
And
dates.
we all have those in our closets, pushing the back. It's like, oh, should I throw that away? No, 3 years past the date, you're still fine. It might not be as flavorful, but you're not going to get hurt. It's not going to be sick. It'll make you sick.
Absolutely.
And they said box goods are 2 years past the date?
Something like that.
Yeah, I think it's 2.
I haven't worked the reclamation line. I've worked a couple of the other different lines, but there's a lot of rules and regulations. Obviously,
Sure.
if the box is damaged, the can is damaged, that kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
That goes out the window. But we work with like Walmart and Meijer and all of the different like local stores across our region. And they actually will pick up like once every week or 2 weeks, depending on the store. And they'll give us anything that they have overstock of that
Great.
doesn't sell. It might be lightly damaged or damaged that they're like, we can't sell it, but it's
The
still
package
good,
is
that kind of
messed up.
thing.
Yeah.
So that's what the reclamation line is going through all of that product that's
Oh.
donated. So we actually, all of our trucks leave full and arrive full because they're picking up at all these different partners.
And I have volunteered at some of those truck locations where people can drive up with their car, not even have to get out of the car, so you're not going to embarrass anybody waiting in lines, having their faces shown if they don't want to be seen, which, they have some pride. They might need the food, but they don't want to be looking like it's charity. So they can stay in their cars. They pull by, and we just put the stuff in their trunk or their back seat. We see how many families are here, and we just tell them to load up the car, and they drive away. And that line was a long line.
Absolutely. We have distributions across the state, and all of those typically have a line out the road for like 3 hours. We have
Wow.
not enough food to give out. At a lot of these distributions, we'll bring an entire semi-truckload of food and not be able to feed the amount of families that come to the distribution.
Well, if you have meat and vegetables and fruits, you have to keep those refrigerated to keep them fresh. How do you do that to keep them fresh before you can give them away?
Yeah, so we have a lot of systems at our food bank, large refrigeration and freezer sections. Our trucks are all refrigerated, so we can get the food safely to the location, and then we deliver directly at the time that the distribution is going to start. So if the distribution's at 10 a.m., it's just before 10 a.m. is when we're dropping off.
Okay.
So that way the food is fresh when the clients get the food.
That's a tough job because I know you had milk one time and you had like carts of milk, but it was like 90 degrees outside. I thought, oh, that's really hard. You got to take them off the refrigerated truck and put them out there and give them to people before it gets too warm. And that
Absolutely.
was a trick.
Yeah. So we that's when we hurry through.
Yeah.
We want to get the milk out to as many families as possible, but also keep that serve safe, food safe.
Sure. It's got to be expensive too. I know even when you buy it at a discount or get it donated, you still have to have the manpower to organize it and to pack it and to deliver
Absolutely.
it. So how can we help?
Well, right now we are working on a radiothon. It's the 9th annual Fox Feeding Frenzy Radiothon with the goal of we're hoping to exceed $50,000 in 12 hours.
Wow.
So we've got a lofty goal, but we are raising money to feed people. So that is the biggest focus here. Anything during that on March 1st from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. We will be taking over the Fox 103.9 radio station.
You've done that before. It's fun.
Yes, it's a blast. And we will be, we have a lot of sponsors that'll be on the air talking about what they do in food insecurity. And then we also have a lot of our programs and volunteerism and stuff like that will be on the air. But we're also live taking donations.
Good.
So that day we have as of now, we have $35,000 that'll be matched.
Oh, that's
Wow.
wonderful. Great.
So the first $35,000 that we bring in that day will be matched.
I love
dollar
that.
for dollar. So we really need to get those donations in so that
Yes.
match comes in. So
Now, let me ask you one thing, too. I know it was told before. If you give $1, that can provide $16 worth of food. Is that still the
$1 equals 6 meals.
6 meals? That's what it is.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. So with
Wow.
that $1, 1.2 pounds approximately of food. So we have the purchasing power, so we can buy entire truckloads of produce or product instead of like if you walk into Walmart, you're going to buy a can of green beans for $1.
Yes.
We can buy an entire pallet for $50 or something
Sure.
along those lines.
So if people want to help, they might want to donate. And that's okay. If they go through your cupboards, like Jay, I just said I had a bunch of stuff in my cupboard. If I go through it just to make more room, it's okay to donate things that are hopefully not expired. They are just, close that date, so it's not so bad. But it's so much better to give the cash because you can buy so much more.
Yeah. So we can, if you go shopping and spend $20, we can do so much more with that
Sure.
$20 than we can with $20 worth of food that you purchase. And we can also buy what we need. So we might have a surplus of green beans, and that's what you brought us. Then we could buy corn or produce or dairy because we can't take donations of produce or dairy. Just because of
Yeah, you don't know if anybody's anything to them. Sure.
Exactly. So meat has to be processed and delivered directly to us and that kind of thing. So there are some rules with that kind of thing, but boxed goods are always good.
And what about somebody who might be a gardener? Because I know we have a program here where we hire young kids to come and learn about gardening and planting flowers and vegetables. So I know one girl wanted to go off and do her own thing, and she wanted to plant her own vegetables and just give them to people in her neighborhood. I thought that was so wonderful. If there's gardeners, can they give you items?
Yes, we can accept produce as long as it's like fresh produce.
Okay.
So if something's going bad, obviously, if we get it in the door, it takes too long for us to process the
sure.
donation and that kind of thing if it's already going bad. But if it's fresh from your garden, obviously we'll distribute that as soon as we can possibly get that out.
That's wonderful.
But we give out totes of produce and pallets of produce, and we have actually started doing demonstration videos on how to
Nice.
cook certain things that might
I could
not
use that.
be popular. We just did manicotti, and we
Oh.
did I guess this video will be going out in the next couple days, and that will be they took like Walmart ingredients and Dollar Tree ingredients. And
Oh,
they processed them the same,
interesting.
and we did a taste test, and it was
Couldn't tell a difference, could you?
yeah, it was 50-50.
That's cool.
With we had a couple people come down and taste both of them, and I mean, you can do a lot with $1.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Well, you guys do a lot of that too when you do the empty bowls. You have demonstrations and you're making some soup because I try to volunteer every year and I enjoy doing that and serving the soups. It's wonderful to do that. And then I've helped them with the demonstrations. And the stuff they've made looked like it was inexpensive and they threw a lot of things together, but it was delicious every time I've done it.
absolutely, we have celebrity chef Nate who comes in.
Yes,
and does
he was
those
wonderful.
Demonstrations, and he's awesome. And we really appreciate him coming in. And he does. I think he did a bread flipping contest this last year.
Oh, I
and
didn't see
went
that
over
one.
really well.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of really fun things that we're able to do, especially with our demonstration kitchen.
Yeah.
We actually just recently partnered with the Disability Network, and we're going to
Wonderful.
be they're going to be using our demo kitchens, and our chefs are going to be helping them teach people with disabilities how to
That's
to
cool.
cook. So
Well-
it's a program that's already been happening, but they just didn't have a kitchen. So they've been using their own personal staff's kitchens and stuff like that. And we're like, well, let's
use, yeah.
we have the equipment.
Utilize it.
Let's bring them in, and
It's a great kitchen too. Wonderfully cooking.
we've been using it a lot more recently.
Good.
So yeah,
I've gone there for Rotary meetings, and you guys had the breakfast held out there. It's always so good and delicious and nice and roomy and clean, and I love that. And MTA loves partnering with you. We provided transportation during the Food Bank of Eastern Michigan's Empty Bowls. And every year we have the trolley out there and bringing people in and back and forth. And the drivers always love it because you always say, come on in and have some soup or get a bowl. And they're like, we love this.
We have a lot of local restaurants that donate soup,
Yes.
so it's a really fun
So
time.
good. I love soups. I know it's
It's like
great.
a soup buffet.
It is. Well, you're doing that, and you're also doing the Feeding Frenzy. Now you do those every year, right? The same time of the year. I know the Empty Bowls is in September.
Yep, it's always the third Thursday in September.
Okay.
Typically, the Radiothon is about the first Friday in March. And then we also have a golf outing that takes place in June. So that'll be June 14th this year at Sugarbush in Davison.
Okay.
So that's a lot of fun as well.
Well, we'll have to get together on those. Do you golf?
I do not golf, but I run the show.
Okay.
So
Same here. We do Friends
Well,
of Public
I do. At
Transportation.
least I try.
Yeah, well,
I
you have
still
to,
swing at it.
you have to golf for both of us because the Friends
Okay,
of Public
all right.
Transportation is doing theirs the Atlas golf outing the day after Father's Day. So we'll have to get together and share some ideas and make the golf
Absolutely.
outings more fun.
yes.
Always looking for donations for that too, aren't you?
Absolutely. Yep. And we have an auction, a silent auction at both the golf outing and Empty Bowls. So people can donate specifically for the golf outing. We do like sports and
Yeah,
stuff
sure.
as our theme. And then for Empty Bowls, it's mostly art pieces.
And some vacations. I've been on those. Yes.
There's a couple of vacations that we always put out, and those are always a lot of fun as well.
And the bowls, the art's it's so artistic. I love all that. It's hard to find just one bowl because you have so many to choose from, and there's just an amazing amount of talent out there. And I just can't. Every year I get a different one. Like I've got one with little handles on it. That's really cute.
Yeah, people say that they spend more time picking out their bowl than they do eating soup. So that,
I believe it.
Yeah, and I believe it.
I've seen it. I say put one back. They pick another one up. They put another one back. They're out. The same person's out there for like 2 hours looking around.
I will say I regret one. There was one bowl that I saw at the beginning of the day, and I was like, I want that bowl, and I didn't grab it.
Oh, yes.
And then I came back an hour later, and it was gone.
It's
and
gone.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever have some left over?
We do. Yeah,
could bring
we
back
have,
next year.
Like 200 or 300 left over.
Yeah.
But the idea is at the end of the night, we don't want to limit your options. So we want to still have a room full of bowls.
Yeah, and that helps.
So at the 6 to 7 o'clock time slot, you're not choosing between one table of
Right,
bowls.
right.
So,
And that's nice you do that for people. And you also will let them buy one extra one, right?
yes,
That's
there's
nice.
a limit just because we can't. We
provide
do,
for everybody, yes.
Yes. And we do have tickets available at the door, so we never know how many will sell. And that's first come, first serve kind of thing. But if we're super busy, obviously we kind of have to hold off on that. But we do sell about 1,000 tickets that day.
Oh my gosh,
So
good for
Wow.
you. And if you're a volunteer, you get a free bowl.
Really?
I know, so you don't want to volunteer now.
Yes.
So you are looking for volunteers, aren't you, for the golf
Always.
outing, maybe the feeding frenzy and the empty bowls? How can they get a hold of you to be a volunteer or to donate or to sponsor?
Absolutely. You can contact me at my direct line, 810-396-0241, or you can email me at kmcglaughLin@fbem.org.
That's also the website.
.us, I'm sorry.
.us. That's also the website. If somebody is, maybe they are listening right now and they think, I could use some food. How do I pick it up? They can get on your website to find out how they can do a drive-through, how they can go pick it up.
Absolutely.
And what is that website for them?
So it's fbem.org is our website, and we have a find food tab on our website that you can put in your zip code and find distributions and partner agencies near you. So that might, if you're not able to go to those distributions, you can contact a partner agency, which would be like a church or a food pantry that have food on site. And they do like schedules. They might be open hours that they all vary. But you can contact that partner agency directly.
You just never know who might need that too. It's just so sad to see that. We're also very fortunate. We have jobs and we have food in our cupboards and we have a car we can drive. We have a home. But a lot of people don't have any of those.
Yeah, and you can have a job and you can have
yeah.
all these different things, and one unexpected bill
Exactly.
can take you from
Medical bill.
having a savings account to having nothing.
Yep.
So we don't ask any questions. There's no, even if they ask you your income, you don't have to give it. You don't have, there's no requirement. You don't have to make
restrictions.
less than this or
Okay.
less than that. You can come and get the food no matter what you make, where you are. Because if you're going to wait in line or put in the
You
effort
must
to get
need
the
it.
food, then
Yeah.
we're not going to ask any questions.
That's so cool. And I look at this, if you're going to donate some money towards the food bank, I look at it as an insurance policy because right now you can afford it. So give them $20. That goes a
Right.
long way. And then if you ever do find yourself in a situation where you might need some assistance, it'll be there for you.
Absolutely.
And if we don't donate now, it might not be there in the future. So we have to continue keeping you going. So MTA loves to be a sponsor. We're going to be sponsoring this event. We're going to be there. We'll be live on the air with you. We're going to be there for the Empty Bowls with the transportation, anything we can do for you. And that's why I wanted to have you on to show how much we appreciate you and
Absolutely.
feed these hungry
we
families.
really appreciate everything you guys do in the community as well.
Thank you. That's so
team
sweet.
effort.
It is. It is. It takes a village. Right?
It is. It's a village.
Is there anything else you want to cover before we let you get back?
We just discussed volunteerism, and
Yes.
that's really big right now with the holiday season over. we get a significant drop in volunteers.
I bet.
Everybody's like, yes, it's the holiday season. Let's give. And then all of a sudden
It's gone.
January hits and they're like, back to work, back to the grind.
Yeah.
We just can't do anything anymore. But we're really low in volunteers right now. And
Good
we
to
can't
know.
get the food out without our volunteers.
Well, that's
So-
why I like what the Genesee Valley Rotary does, because they go over there and I think they ask for like 8 people to get together and go over there and help you with organizing and bring their own food if they can. And then they might go out for dinner afterwards or something to make it fun for them as well. But you can always volunteer through anything like that. My neighbor
Absolutely.
across the street, he doesn't get out very often, and he volunteers now at the Outreach East. And they buy food from you so that they can continue feeding people in that area as well.
Yes.
So I know you have an outreach very far. I mean, it goes, how far did it go? 21?
22 counties.
22,
Yep. So
wow.
we go all the way up to Sheboygan and we go to Port Huron. So that's kind of our the service area, and we cover all of those counties all the way through.
Yeah, I went up to visit a friend of mine way up north, and I thought, what is that? I said, Food Bank of Eastern Michigan. It was a great big truck, and there was a line of people, and it was in like a church parking lot. I thought, wow, you guys are way up here taking care of people.
Absolutely.
That was so cool.
We always say that it's one of our biggest struggles is getting people in Sheboygan to realize, like we get comments, why are we sending our donations to Flint? Like we live all the way up in Sheboygan. Why are we doing that? But in all reality, we service that entire area. So your money might be mailed to a Flint address, but we're giving
Taking
food,
care of everybody.
all the way up.
It's like sending money or sending some notes to Santa Claus. So he knows what you want. He provides for everybody.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
For
I think
sure.
Santa Claus has got a waterfront home in Sheboygan.
So how many employees are at the food bank
We have about
approximately?
100 employees.
And how many volunteers would you say of average? I know there's a lot more at the holidays, but
Really, we need about 25 a day, and right now I think we're averaging 5 to 10
oh
a day.
gosh, you do need help then.
So in all reality, it's been a struggle this last 2 months.
So would you
just
say
getting all the food
Boy
out.
Scouts, Girl Scouts, what kind of organizations might be needing to have some volunteer hours? They're not even thinking about this. Like, how can you?
Yeah, anybody that needs volunteer hours, we work with anybody. We've had women volunteer with baby strapped to their chest.
Aw.
Like we will make it work, whatever your timeline is, that kind of thing. We do offer some evenings on Wednesdays and some morning Saturdays, that kind of thing throughout the year. As long as you have a group of 10 or more, or if you call and you want to just tag along on a day, we do have groups that are coming in and we can just like include you in a group.
So what's a typical job that a volunteer might have if they came in? Like, what would they be doing?
Well, like you mentioned,
Sorting
sorting
the
through
food.
reclamation is a big one.
Packaging food to take to somebody, perhaps?
Yes. So we have, during the holidays, we have our holiday boxes. We also have senior box line.
I love
that. Goes
that.
out once a month.
It used to be for $20. I could donate $20 a month, and we go to a different senior that might need it. Do you still have that program?
It's actually state funded now. So
you don't have to pay the $20.
So we get reimbursed by the state.
Good.
For at least a majority of that.
There's a lot of seniors that need it, and they're too proud to
yes.
ask.
And so the process for that, if you know a senior that's interested, is they just have to, if they reach out to the food bank, we can find a partner agency that's near them, or they can reach out to one of their local partner agencies, like a food pantry, that might be able to participate. And so they fill out an application, and once they're accepted, they receive food for 3 years, 1 box a month for
Really?
like 3 years, guaranteed.
Wow.
Wow.
So there's no questions asked. You apply every 3 years, and then that box
That's
comes to you.
nice. And what they do every year. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, I was packing one of those boxes, and I was surprised. Everybody had our own jobs, but it wasn't just food. There was, they had toilet paper, and they had soap, and they had toothpaste, and they had other products that you might, like a lip balm and stuff. I thought that was really nice. You thought about all the needs that seniors might
Absolutely.
have.
Yeah, and with that, the boxes might be a little heavy or like that kind of thing, and transportation has been an issue. So we've actually partnered with DoorDash. So as long as the senior lives within 5 miles of the partner agency or the Food Bank of Eastern Michigan, we will DoorDash will send somebody out to deliver the box directly to them.
Is there a fee that you have to pay or they have to pay? No,
No, DoorDash is it's
a
across the
partnership.
country. Yep, it's a
I
partnership
did
across
not
the
know
country.
that.
So if you're within, that's why we try and find a partner agency that's close to them, because
Sure.
that 5 mile radius, and that's DoorDash will take the box directly to the senior, and if needed, they'll take it and put it right on their kitchen counter.
That is so cool to know.
Yeah, because a lot of seniors, that's the difficulty is they either can't drive or they can't get to a store
or lift it,
lift the food. That's a big issue as well.
That's me, is my elbow and my hand.
Yeah.
I know. I can't volunteer to even help that right now.
We got to put caution hot stickers all over your house.
I know. Well, I'm so glad that you came in and shared that with us, because a lot of people might be listening going, my gosh, my grandmother needs this, or I need this, or I want to volunteer. The Girl Scouts might need something, because you have to have certain volunteer hours too when you're part of groups.
Absolutely.
So it's good to know where they can go.
Yeah, and we have large groups that come in often, but also the regular everyday groups they make a really big impact.
Oh, I'm sure. And they can see the need, and that makes them going to be more helpful in the future too.
Absolutely. It's one of the most rewarding things. I know that I might be raising money for food insecurity all the time, but going down and working in the warehouse it's a really
humbling.
Rewarding thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, can people come right to you to get food, or do they have to do the? Do they?
So
know,
they do have to go through a partner agency.
Okay.
So because of how food banking works, we have to distribute the food elsewhere to give it out.
Sure.
But we do have a lot of partner agencies that are really close to us. We have one that's just down the road. So we always direct them to those partners. And there are limitations, obviously. Not everybody, all the partners struggle to keep food in the doors, which can be really difficult.
And there might be stores listening right now to think, I have extra food that we can donate to that. Because I see food sometimes. I was at, I think it was Rite Aid, and she was taking great big boxes of candy bars, and they were throwing them away. And I said, well, they're not bad, because I know, but that's our rule. We have to throw them away. I said, well, can't you give them to the food bank or someplace? No, we just have to throw them away. We can't do that.
Yeah, so
What's that about?
We do have a lot of, that's the partnership that we have. We have a partnership with Dollar General. We have Walmart. We have Sam's Club. We have Meijer. There's a couple other ones. I believe we have like 7 or 8 different store chains.
Go to Rite Aid and Walgreens, because that's where they're throwing candy bars away. And
yeah, I'll have to talk to my
I said, well, I'm going to go in the garbage and get it when you throw it away. I was kidding, but yeah, I thought people probably do.
Yeah, food procurement. We just got a new department that's specifically for their job is building relationships with these different companies.
Okay, good.
So maybe that's next on our
list.
list.
And I'm sure they have their rules and regulations they have to follow through the government, whatever they do. But maybe if you can get with them and say, hey, let's do this instead, maybe they'll be able, I'm sure they'd be willing to help if they can.
Yep, they always follow a procedure. So
yeah,
we
exactly.
Just have to
change that procedure. I like the way you think. Young, ambitious people. I love this.
I know.
Well, thank you again so very much. I just want to go and help you and give some money to you and make it work. But we look forward to this. I'm going to be there. MTA, hopefully Mr. Ed Benning will be in town to do this as well on March 1st. If not, we'll be hearing from him, his voice. He's going to make sure he always supports you guys. So he'll be there one way or the other.
Perfect.
Yes, and I will be too. I can't wait. And you guys always have breakfast there for us when we come. Yes. You have food for us.
Yes.
That's what we're known for. And empty bowls. Mark your calendars. What is that in September?
September 19th this year.
Good to know. And there's 2 different categories. They can go to the morning time.
Yep,
or
11 to 2 and 4 to 7.
Yep. I'm usually there right away.
Excellent.
I get off work. So, all right. Well, thanks again. And we will be helping you help others.
Perfect.
Thanks
really
so much.
appreciate it.
Yeah, you bet. And keep listening. Every week we do something special and different, don't we?
Every week.
Jay.
Every week.
Something fun, something informative, something helpful to make life better for you and anyone else in our community. And thanks for listening.
You've been listening to On the Road with the MTA. For more information on our services and community outreach, visit us online anytime at www.mtaflint.org. And be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. The MTA, your community, your connection, your way.